What's up, Seahawks fans? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, ready to go through this Seahawks versus Broncos Week 2 NFL Preseason preview. Plus, I'm going to tell you who's going to win this game. I'm going to give you the odds, and I'm going to tell you some players to watch on the offensive side of the football and on the defensive side of the football. So when you look at this one here, you got the Denver Broncos traveling to Seattle. Denver is a 5-point favorite. The total over-under in this one is 37 points, and I'd say it's actually probably one of the more higher-scoring preseason games of this upcoming week. So what I want you guys to do right now is look into that crystal ball, and I want you to try to predict the score for this upcoming game. The Seattle Seahawks home against the Denver Broncos. If you're confident in Seattle, if you want to bet on the Broncos, if you just want to bet on this game or any game going forward, you can do it at the link that you guys see below. It's chatsports.com/bet. Remember to use that promo code, though, Seahawks125. So coming up now, we're going to dive into some players that I believe every single person should watch on the offensive side of the football. We're going to go from quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, and then I'm going to pick one player from each of those positions that I'm telling you, you need to be watching for. So first, we're going to start here at the quarterback position. Russell Wilson, Geno Smith's been banged up. He's questionable to play in this one. Sean Mannion, and then Alec Magoo. In terms of who should you guys watch, this is simple to me. I want to see Russ cook up a little bit here. Now, there was a report that he might play this week. I'm going to kind of read between the lines here, and I would say that there's a 25% chance that Wilson decides to, I was going to say strap it on, but that just sounds weird, and go ahead and play. But Wilson, he wants to get reps against Denver. Like, that's literally his words. But I'm pretty sure if you told Russell, like, hey, do you want to do this? He's going to have the confidence, and he's always going to say yes. Like, he would have been the perfect guy to put in the movie 300. You know why? He's always ready to rock and roll. Wilson, though, he didn't get to play last week against Las Vegas. The quarterback play was below average, to say the least, I'll say. But if Russell Wilson plays, I know I'm going to be watching him. So here's the question I'm going to ask you guys, because this is what we do here at Chat Sports. Why for yes and for no? Go down in the comments and let me know. Do you want Russell to play up against the Denver Broncos? And so in terms of what kind of comments am I looking for, I'm going to already be looking for the predict the score, and I'm going to be looking to see if you want Russ to play. Honestly, though, as much as I would love to see Russ play, I'm going to go ahead and type my N for no, simply because you know Russell Wilson's great, and if he gets hurt, well, this season might as well just be thrown to shit. All right, let's go now to the running back position here. Chris Carson, Rashaad Penny. Where are we going to be going with this? I'd say probably the best running back last week, because he was basically the only one that played, was DJ Dallas. That's not where I'm going to turn my conversation. I'm not even going to look at Chris Carson. The name that I'm going to bring up here is Rashaad Penny. So he was activated off the PUP list on Tuesday, and he is expected to play up against Denver. I will also be curious to see what the running back split looks like between Penny and DJ Dallas, but it is anticipated that he is going to get a lot of work if he plays, because he was getting lots of work on Wednesday's practice. Now, I was never the biggest Penny fan. I never honestly would have drafted him in the first round, but he does have some talent. The biggest question is, can he stay healthy? And that's kind of always been the conversation when it comes to Rashaad Penny. You see the talent, but this dude can never stay healthy. But if he is healthy, I am going to go ahead and watch him. Now let's go to the wide receiver position here. DK Metcalf, probably not going to play. Tyler Lockett, he's been nursing an injury. Not 100% sure whether or not he is going to play in this one. If Lockett does play, I would actually say that he's the top person to watch. However, my concentration is going to go to Dwayne Eskridge, who was just activated off the PUP list after missing 3 weeks with a toe injury. He was selected number 56 overall in the 2021 NFL Draft. The reason why that's relevant, Seattle didn't have a first-round pick, so that means that they spent high on this guy. They've been looking for a David Moore replacement. Swain last week had 3 catches for 29 yards. But for this offense to click, and I mean really, really click, you know DK is a stud. You know Tyler Lockett's great. But can Wayne Eskridge, as a rookie, be that field stretcher? He averaged 23.3 yards per catch as I was going to say as a rookie, but in college last season, that's what you're looking for, that extra guy that can continue to stretch the field for you for Seattle. So I got a hell of a deal going on right now. And before you go anywhere, this is better than Black Friday. Limited time only. Free Seahawks videos, but they're only available for the next 365 days. So I don't want you to miss this. So if you blink and we don't have free videos anymore, that's on you. If you are already subscribed to our channel, go down there below, take that link, youtube.com/SeahawksTV, send it to some friends. I will say this, though. Great job hitting 22,000 subs. Don't quote me on this, but I believe you guys are the fastest channel in Chat Sports history to get to 22,000 subs. Let's now get to 23,000. Let's go to the tight end position, and this is probably Marshall's favorite position. He loves a good tight end. Gerald Everett, Will Dissly, Colby Parkinson. Colby Parkinson not going to be playing in this game upcoming. So where am I going to be directing my conversation to? Well, I'm actually just going to sit here and say if Everett's out there, I want to see him rock. If Will Dissly's out there, I want to see them play. I want to try to figure out who's going to be that starting tight end because I personally thought it was Everett, though a lot of other people out there in the media are saying it's going to end up being Will Dissly. So go down in the comments right now and let me know what player are you most excited to watch on offense. Obviously, if Russell Wilson's out there, that's going to be my vote. If Russell Wilson's not out there, if Tyler Lockett's out there, that's going to be probably where I go. Dwayne Eskridge could be really interesting. Or, this might surprise you guys, I might just say the entire offensive line. Speaking of the offensive line, that's where we're going next. Dwayne Brown not going to be playing in this one. I want to see more from Jones, and I want to see more from Forsythe because I can almost promise you this. If they play as bad as they did last week, Russell Wilson better not go out there on the practice field. But this has always been the conversation for this team. Can the offensive line protect Russell Wilson? I'm sick and tired of talking about it, so come on, guys. Show up. Get some guys down on the ground. Start pancaking some guys because I'm sick and tired of watching Russell Wilson and all these other quarterbacks run for their life. Now, if you guys want a hell of a deal, I want you to go down to that link below, chatsports.com/bet, chatsports.com/bet. Apply directly to the forehead, chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Seahawks125 to get a 125% deposit bonus. If you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, we got the best deal on the internet. Our sportsbook partner here has got an unbelievable deal. So if you want to bet on the Seahawks, if you want to bet on any NFL preseason game, if you want to bet on cricket, shit, they have that even there. So go to chatsports.com/bet. Use the promo code Seahawks125 to get the best deal on the internet. If you want to go ahead and bet on the under, which I usually bet the under, this preseason game, I might actually bet the over, though. I will bet it, definitely the over if Russell Wilson is playing. But the bottom line is this. Making money is fun. Free money is even better. And I want you guys to have a little bit of extra fun in this one. So go to chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Seahawks125. I think I've said that a few times now. Let's go to the defensive side of the football here, where I was not very impressed what Seattle did last week up against Nathan Peterman, up against the Las Vegas Raiders. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at all these positions and where you guys should be watching very, very closely. Let's first talk about the big guys up front. Dunlap, Mayowa, Hyder. Where am I going to be directing my attention to? Those guys are studs. We all know that. But I want to give some love to Alton Robinson, who I was very impressed with last week against Las Vegas. In terms of pressures, you don't always have to get after the quarterback to make an impact. He had a few pressures on Peterman, and he was the reason why that there was an interception. That was also Peterman's fault. He literally just floated one up like he usually does, and it was picked off. But he also looked solid in the run game. For Robinson to take that next step, for him to be that next, we'll say, great interior rusher, next outside rusher for Seattle, he needs to also be better in the run game, which I like. I also love this quote that he's saying, like, hey, I worked a little bit with Cliff Averill. You guys remember Cliff Averill, right? And if he's been working with him, I'll tell you what, it's been paying off. So that's probably the first guy that I would say watch on the defensive side of the football for the Seattle Seahawks. The next position that we're going to be getting to here is going to be around the defensive tackle position. And Ford Collier, and Woods, all these big guys, I think that they just need to be better against the run. I mean, B.J. Emmons, who the hell is that? Well, guess what? He averaged 5.0 yards per carry last week, 9 carries, 45 yards. What about Trey Regis, UDFA from Louisiana? He had over 60 yards, and both of those guys had touchdowns. I'm looking at the big guys on the interior. You need to stop getting ripped apart by no-name running backs. Let's go now to the linebacker position here, where Taylor, Wagner, Brooks, these are probably the bigger name guys. But I'm going to give some love to the person who I thought was the preseason MVP on the defensive side of the football for the Seattle Seahawks, and that one's Cody Barton. I mean, Cody Barton to me was very, very impressive. He was flying all over the football field in terms of really being able to get, he had sacks, he had like 7 tackles. He was a very dynamic player, so my concentration is going to be on Cody Barton. So out of all the players on the defensive side of the football, who are you most excited to watch? I mean, we know that the offense is going to be clicking during the regular season, but the defense still has a lot of question marks, and, well, that's not always a good thing. So I want to see how this defense continues to play. They need to show up, especially the secondary. Now we're here and we're looking at the secondary for the Seattle Seahawks, and you got Reed, you got Blair, Adams, Diggs, Witherspoon, but there's a lot of players in terms of depth that have major question marks around it. The player that I'm going to talk about now here is going to end up being Tre Flowers. Flowers, he gave up 2 third-down conversions last week, and that's obviously a little bit frustrating because Flowers needs to be a lot more consistent. One of the plays that he got worked on by Zay Jones, and Zay's a good receiver. He's the 4th best receiver on the Raiders, but if you're getting worked by Jones, that's a little bit concerning, I would say. He did get beat on a 28-yard route. He gave up 2 third down conversions. Jesus, I swear I haven't drank anything today. And he just needs to step up in this game, especially with the injury to DJ Reed. So I don't know how long Reed's going to be out, but if Flowers wants to be able to prove to himself and be able to prove to Seattle that he deserves more playing time and maybe even a starting roster spot, then he needs to show up in this game against Denver, where Denver's going to put out both of their solid quarterbacks in Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. So that's something to think about. We got Sam here in the studio. He's a Bronco fan, so I'm going off tangent here. But let's look at this game one more time here. The Broncos -5 up against the Seattle Seahawks. The over-under in this one's 37 points. I get it. This is a Seahawks show, but my job is to give you guys honest analysis, and I actually think the team that every single person should bet on in the preseason is the team that has a quarterback battle. Well, no quarterback battle in Seattle. There is one in Denver between Bridgewater, who apparently is going to get the start in this one. They looked really good last week up against the Minnesota Vikings, winning that one 33-6. I am going to take the Broncos to win this one. I am going to take them to cover, but I am going to take the under. All of that changes if Russell Wilson plays, so something to keep in mind.